This video is powered by Dr. Cinik, one of the world's leading hair transplant centres and a top choice among football superstars. Scan the QR code on the screen or click the link below for your free consultation. I'm even thinking about getting it done myself.
I'm here with my boy Gooner, one of my favourite Arsenal fellow brethren Arsenal fans. I don't know where to start, but you know what? Let me put a slightly different perspective on this. Do you think that this was a point gained or 2 points dropped for Arsenal, given what transpired in the game?
Do you know what? It's 2 points dropped only because of how we conceded and when we conceded. If you think about it, like, we were threatened throughout that watch along. You know, I did the whole watching and I was nervous as hell. But when you concede a goal in the 97th minute, it's 2 points dropped. But it's not to, put blame and, be angry, because those players deserve a day's rest with a bonus for how they played and how they performed. And even the players that came in, everybody to a man did their job. And it's obviously very disappointing to concede a goal in the last minute, but I have to give props to those players and the manager, because they had a game plan. They figured out a way to kind of get under the skin of Man City's players. And yeah, listen, it's just unfortunate of how it finished.
You mentioned that about getting under the skin of the Man City players. There has been some criticism, I don't know if you know, that's been aimed at Arsenal, even coming from some of the City players, saying that Arsenal are guilty of a lot of dark arts, wasting time, things of that nature. What's your response to that?
It's funny because John Stones, I saw his interview, and he mentioned the word cheating. Now, the irony of a club that has now got, 115 charges hanging over their club, and you're talking about Arsenal's dark arts. Now, I've been seeing over the years Fernandinho pulling players back. I've seen Rodri pulling players back in cheating or dark arts, however he wants to put it and reference it. So I just find it funny that it's maybe the right message, the wrong messenger. And, for me, you got to find ways to beat, the opposition. And clearly Man City are a very good footballing team, and we played good football, and we can kind of mix it and play a different kind of way. So those players, and as I said, on the pitch, all of them stepped up. All of them had a game plan, knew the game plan today, and they deserve all the praise that they should get. Now, I'm sure rival fans are going to be happy that Arsenal conceded, because they don't want to see Arsenal win it, because, other than Man United, every other rival fan base probably wants to see Man City win it. But I'm kind of blocking all that out. Honestly, I couldn't care less about rival fans if they're going to, try and banter because we conceded the goal in the last minute. I think Man City were very, very rattled at the end, because I think they see an Arsenal team that are on the come up. I think they see a team that knows they ain't here to play games this season. Now, I'm going to be real with you. Before the game, I was quite nervous. I was very, very, not too certain. I was very sceptical whether Arsenal could actually win the league. I think Arsenal can win the league. I really do. I think Arsenal are up for it. I think these players, this club, I think we're very, very assured in what the plan is and what.
I would agree with you there. I think that if there's one thing that Arsenal showed today, they showed that they have the mentality to win the league. Now, whether they go on and win it,
that's a different
is another matter. But certainly the mentality, the organisation, the structure, everything is on point. Now, I've got to ask you, because it's probably the biggest talking point of the game. There were many talking points, but the sending off of Trossard, I want to know what you think. I mean, there's a school of thought to say that the referee got it right. However, and James articulated this quite well in his fan cam, he was going on about consistency. So I just want to know where you stand on all that.
Do you know what? I don't even want to talk about the Trossard thing, because I don't want my fan cam to be about that. I don't actually want to talk about that, because we know what the refs are. I think.
Okay. Do you think he was deserved sending off?
I think more. All I want to say is that it's just the consistent inconsistencies which I don't like, and you see it in this game. You saw it yesterday in the West Ham game. You saw it in the Chelsea. So you saw it in the Tottenham home game against Brentford. You see the constant referees' decisions that are just inept. And when it comes to Arsenal, it just seems to be Arsenal get refereed, Arsenal get managed in a different way compared to every other team. So that's where my annoyance comes from, and that's how I'm going to leave it. In response to your question about Trossard, I don't think he should have been sent off. I really don't. I think, yes, the first yellow card was silly by him when he kind of pulled the player's pulled the player's shirt. But honestly, I look at this performance and I look at the actual incident and I think, use your brain. Like you're in added time. The two things happened simultaneously. He blew the whistle. Michael Oliver blew the whistle. Sorry, as well as the guy, obviously Trossard's kicking the ball away. So for me, I don't think it was a yellow card, a second yellow. I really don't. But if you're going to be pedantic, there's swings and roundabouts. You can easily say, but it's just the inconsistencies. As I said, in this very game, Doku's done exactly the same thing. Michael Oliver's looked directly at him doing it, and he, not like looking away. No problem with that. So yeah, that's for me where it goes. But other than that, man, like, I don't want to spend too much time on it because
I hear that.
There are more things that I can champion about Arsenal rather than spending half of my fan cam talking about a stupid guy that's ruined a great spectacle.
Okay, I hear that. Let's stay positive. And so let's talk about some of the Arsenal players. I mean, pretty much all of them were heroes today. Anyone in particular that stood out for you and why?
Now, there are two people. And one of them, I genuinely have to say, like, I probably owe a massive apology to, and that's David Raya. Last season, I was extremely down on him. I didn't think he was the player that people were making out. I didn't see why he was brought in. I thought Ramsdale was a much better player, and I have to hold my hands up. I don't get everything right. I
no, you definitely don't.
I think, honestly, he's up there performing with one of the best keepers in the league so far. He's shot stopping. He's coming for the crosses, claiming crosses. He gives an assurance of calmness, and that's the best thing you can say as a keeper. I don't feel like there's any part of me that thinks, do you know what, he's gonna let a goal in, and that's the best thing I can say about him. So the big moments, the small moments, he's there, and like he's done more than enough to be probably player of the season for us so far. Obviously,
yeah, I would agree with you so far. I mean, it's got to be out of him and Gabriel, really. But
the last one, probably I'd say is Gabriel Martinelli. Now, look, you said that
Martinelli.
Look,
okay,
I think
not Gabriel Magalhaes.
Well, I think we know that he was an outstanding performer, but I just want to talk about some of maybe the unsung heroes. And I think Gabriel Martinelli, again, somebody who's had a lot of stick from the fan base at times, even myself. People call him Fartinelli. People call him Pantsinelli.
I hope you're not one of them that's calling him.
I wouldn't go that far, but people have said a lot about him, and the fact that I think he went 17 games without a goal and an assist. And
I think he's 17 today.
Well, 17 today, and he's got an assist. He got an assist for Calafiori. Now that's a start, but all the other things, the intangibles, working off the ball, the fact that he was very, very smart and cute with how he was trying to go forward and attack, obviously before the red card, as well as the defensive display. Now, people are going to say, well, he's a forward, but like, that was the game plan. That he went down to a T what the manager asked for him, and you can't ask for no more. And I think his ball carrying was a lot better. His balls into the box, just thinking about what he's doing a little bit more, and the basics were really good. Now, again, we're clutching at straws because he's an Arsenal player and he should be doing better, but he needs to get a bit of praise today because, as I said, a lot of people have been on his back for a long time, and rightly so. He's not had the performances. So, yeah, look, as I said,
that's I hear that. Just finally, if we take the week as a whole, so if we go back to last week, we were looking forward. 3 away games, 3 difficult games. So we've gone to Tottenham, we've beaten them. We've got a creditable draw against Atalanta, even though the performance wasn't great. But today, I thought was probably the best performance of the 3, to be honest, even though, we conceded in the last few seconds. Just give me your opinions on the week as a whole, because as I said, it's a very challenging week. Tottenham, Atalanta and City, all away from home. Give us your very quick assessment of how that week has ended up.
Do you know what? I've got real belief in this squad. I've got real belief in this team that we're going to win something, and I've got real belief that we're going to fight to the end. I was very sceptical at the start of this week, last week Sunday, before the North London derby. I didn't think that would beat them. I really didn't, with the injuries, and I thought that they were coming for blood, and the players stepped up. You've then gone to the midweek game. We found a way to navigate a draw. We're now here, and we were 30 seconds away from beating probably the best team in the world, or one of the best teams in the world. So 7 points out of 9 isn't a bad return from this week. And yeah, I honestly can't say much more than that. Is it 7 points or is it? No, it is.
Well, yeah, it is. I mean, obviously, one of them is the
Yeah,
Champions
the
League,
Champions
but I
League,
mean,
yeah.
you're right.
So I can't complain too much, man. As I said, I think.
No, sorry, it's 5 points.
5 points. So
Yeah,
my
5
maths teacher as well, you know. Mad.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, but I look at it and I think to myself, honestly, I meant to say 7 points out of 9 away from home against Aston Villa, Man City, and Tottenham. Okay. Sorry, listen, that in itself, that gives me a good kind of gives me a good hold into the league moving forward as well. So yeah, man, like as I said, I'm extremely proud of the boys. I came into the week very, very glum, and I'm leaving it glum, but for a different reason. So yeah, I said I have to give the boys praise today. And next week, I think we've got Leicester at home.
Well, we've got a midweek game against Bolton in the Carabao Cup, and then we've got Leicester. So 2 winnable games. But listen, we've got to stay focused. But in the meantime, thanks very much, Lee. Always a pleasure.